Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Heat's Pat Riley calls out Jimmy Butler, keep your mouth shut. Following the Miami Heat's elimination, Jimmy Butler caused quite a stir when he claimed that, had he been healthy, the Heat would have beaten the Boston Celtics and New York Knicks. Pat Riley did not take kindly to Butler's words. During his May 6 exit interview, Riley called out Butler, telling him that he shouldn't talk under the circumstances. For him to say that, I thought, is that Jimmy trolling, or is that Jimmy being serious? If you're not on the court, playing against Boston, or you're not on the court playing against the New York Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut in your criticism of those teams, Riley said, per WPLG Local 10 Sports X account. Riley has always been one to speak his mind, and times like this are no different. The Heat could have thrived under certain hypothetical scenarios with Butler on the court, but no matter what, the fact remains that they didn't happen. Instead, the Heat were eliminated in the first round and have to regroup for the 2024-25 season. During that same press conference, Riley talked about the Heat potentially extending Butler. Riley gave the full details on where they're at with Butler's extension. We don't have to do that for a year, Riley said about Butler's extension during his exit interview. And so, we have not discussed that internally right now, but we have to look at that, making that kind of commitment. Riley said that time will tell on what they'll do about Butler's next contract. We haven't made a decision on it, Riley added. And we really haven't in earnest discussed it. So we'll just see what happens. The Heat brought Butler in circa 2019, and since then, he has made good on their commitment to him. He's guided the Heat to 2 NBA Finals appearances. The only free agent acquisition who has accomplished more than Butler was LeBron James. Butler will enter the second year of a 3-year, $146 million contract. The Heat have gotten plenty of bang for their buck for their investment in the 6-time All-Star. At the same time, by the time they start negotiations, Butler will be 35 years old. His age may be a determining factor in whether the Heat want to keep him. Before joining the Heat, Butler's last team was the Philadelphia 76ers. NBA insider Mark Stein reported that some NBA teams believe the Sixers will try to orchestrate a reunion with Butler. However, such a move would require multiple moving parts. More than one rival team out there has likewise wondered whether Philadelphia, in the wake of its first-round exit, will mount a trade run at Butler to reacquire Joel Embiid's close friend if the 76ers are unsuccessful in using their projected $50+ million in salary cap space to acquire presumed top target Paul George, Stein wrote in a May 5 story. The Sixers have cap space this offseason, and they have been tied to George. If the Heat don't want to pay Butler moving forward, there could be a scenario where Butler gets sent back to the Sixers. Miami Heat, Pat Riley challenges Bam Adebayo to take Magic Johnson route to improve his game ahead of the 2024-25 season. Pat Riley held his exit interview on Monday to talk about the current state of the Miami Heat, and one of the main topics he covered was the upcoming extension talks with Bam Adebayo. Talking to Zachary Weinberger of Clutch Points, the Miami Heat president praised Bam Adebayo for his growth, as he has been an integral part of the squad in the past few years. However, after a disappointing 2023-24 campaign, Riley issued a huge challenge for his star center ahead of the offseason, as he compared his experience coaching Magic Johnson when he was his head coach with the Los Angeles Lakers back in the 80s. Everybody knows in the league what his game is. They all know what he does for us, how important he is for us in a lot of areas, and so he has to expand also his game, Riley said about Adebayo. I remember in 1986 after we got beat by Houston, Magic came into me and he said we have to change some things, I have to change, I have to start shooting threes. Back when threes weren't being shot and more than 10 a game, I got to become a better outside shooter and all this. Bam has to look at his game and sit with Coach Spoelstra, and how can he get better and expand his game, but he's at a point right now where he's an all-NBA player, and we're happy to have him. Bam Adebayo had a good year in 2023-24, as he became an NBA All-Star for the third time in his career and is a finalist for the 2024 Defensive Player of the Year award. With Jimmy Butler out for the playoffs, Bam Adebayo had to shoulder the scoring load for the Miami Heat, averaging 22.6 points, 9.4 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game on 49.5% shooting from the floor. Pat Riley denies Heat will trade Jimmy Butler, not in rush for contract extension, calls Tyler Herro fragile. Pat Riley, the seasoned decision-maker of the Miami Heat, unequivocally dispelled any notion of trading Jimmy Butler amidst speculation surrounding his contract extension. The prevailing theory among some executives suggested that Butler's impending max extension request, coupled with his age and injury history, might prompt the Heat to explore trade options. However, Riley swiftly shut down such conjectures, stating simply, no. In his extensive media session, Riley delved into the complexities surrounding Butler's future with the Heat. Well, we don't have to that for a year, so we have not discussed that internally right now. We have to look at making that kind of commitment, and when do we do it? We don't have to do it until 2025, actually. But we'll see. We haven't made a decision on it, and we haven't really in earnest discussed it. While Butler is likely to seek a lucrative extension, Riley emphasized that the team has not internally discussed such a move and will take time to evaluate the situation. The Heat president underscored the significance of committing substantial resources to a player, especially considering Butler's sporadic availability due to injuries and other reasons. Jimmy Butler is locked in for 2 more seasons under his current contract. In the upcoming season, he's set to earn an impressive $48.8 million. Looking ahead to the summer of 2025, when Butler will be 35 years old, he'll have a pivotal decision to make with a player option on the table worth $52.4 million. With the experience and talent he brings to the game, it's anticipated that he may seek out a max deal, spanning perhaps 3 to 4 years. Butler's stature as an elite player cannot be denied, with Riley acknowledging his pivotal role in the team's success, particularly during playoffs. However, the concerns loom large over Butler's age and his tendency to miss games, prompting Riley to tread cautiously regarding any extension talks. Moreover, Riley didn't shy away from addressing Butler's recent comments, cautioning against criticisms directed at other teams when not actively participating. Riley's candid response reflected the Heat's commitment to professionalism and accountability, traits that are integral to the team's culture. Beyond Butler, Riley highlighted the broader issue of player availability, pointing to the Heat's roster instability due to injuries throughout the season. The team's reliance on makeshift lineups underscores the need for a deeper analysis into the reasons behind player absences, a process that Riley affirmed the team will undertake rigorously. As a seasoned veteran in NBA management, Riley's approach to off-season decisions reflects both pragmatism and a relentless pursuit of success. With an illustrious track record spanning nearly 3 decades with the Heat, Riley's commitment to maintaining a competitive roster while navigating challenges speaks volumes about his leadership. In essence, while Butler's future with the Heat remains uncertain, Riley's steadfast resolve and calculated approach underscore the team's commitment to sustained excellence, ensuring that any decisions made align with the organization's long-term goals. In his off-season press conference, Miami Heat president Pat Riley didn't mince words when discussing Tyler Herro's injury history, referring to him as fragile due to the significant amount of time he's missed due to injuries. He's been fragile a little bit and broke his hand last year in the playoffs. He had some injuries earlier in his career. And there isn't anybody who works harder at his game. I suppose correct, he works and puts the time in. He put the time in the weight room. So how does he keep his calorie intake? And he might have to go to another level nutritionally. He's gotten stronger, but, as the season progresses, you lose some of that. You don't pound the iron like you do, in the off-season. But he's got to make some adjustments, definitely. Riley acknowledged Harrow's work ethic and dedication to his game, but emphasized the need for the young guard to make adjustments, particularly in his approach to nutrition and physical conditioning. Harrow's injury-riddled season saw him sidelined for 40 games, a considerable setback for the Heat's promising young talent. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.